The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. In the year of our Lord 1197, 5 Canaanites were sent to the lands beyond the forest to serve those who ruled Transylvania. With their diplomacy, they were granted a city to rule as they see fit. With their strength, they solidified control and protected their domain from invaders. With their knowledge, they ruled for 2 centuries of relative Canaanite peace. But they cannot stop the prophecies, for the ancient war, all but forgotten, stirs afresh. And those whom you have cursed to save yourself shall break free of their bonds at last. Welcome to the Transylvania Chronicles. Welcome to our Vampire Dark Ages stream. We here at McStabber Studios understand that some of the subjects that come up during this chronicle are problematic by modern standards. Our goal is to handle these kinds of situations in a manner that does not directly or indirectly glorify these kinds of actions. While we understand that we are playing in a world of monsters, that does not mean we must be the monsters ourselves. Please also be aware, none of our cast are experts in history. That means there will be some deviations between the world timeline and the vampiric world. You can go ahead and chalk that up to the Canaanite influence on the mortals around them. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy our story. And good evening, everyone. Welcome to McStabber Studios' Vampire Dark Ages Glimpses of History. I almost said Kansas City. Insert pithy response here about, out of context Zoom chat stuff, but I just don't have the energy. So I am the storyteller for this stream, Shanky McStabber.
And I am Mama McStabber, and I am playing Saint Olga of Kiev, the patron saint of widows, converts, and revenge of Clan La Sombra.
Hello, I'm Beetle Spock, and I'll be playing Yves Marchand of Clan Toriador.
I'm Gina Vanish, and I'll be playing Peregrine from the unfortunate Clan of Assamite.
Hi, I'm Maddox, and I'll be playing Snatcher of the Clan Nosferatu.
Hi, everybody. I'm the Red Nose Archon, and I get to play Agustin de la Cruz, also of Clan La Sombra.
Good evening. Welcome to episode 2 of season 5. We are in the year 1472. In last episode, this coterie and rulers of Belgrade went to go see Prince Radu to discuss the Dracula problem, and also to to meet with him in general, because he wanted him to be his proxy at a gathering of Prince Otto of Hermstadt. And so after meeting with him, they did come up with a plan, I guess, for the Dracula problem. There actually seemed to be an agreement that he shouldn't be embraced. But they had set off with Tiberu.
Shouldn't be destroyed.
Or shouldn't be destroyed, sorry. Thank you. And they had set off with Tiberu the Gangrel in his coach of horse death, I should call it, with his breeding program horses that ride like bats out of hell. And they set off to go from Castle Bistru to Hermannstadt. And as you're setting out from the city, the first few hours are pretty uneventful. Or not from the city, from the castle into Huda Pass. The first few hours are uneventful, but as you get close to Bistris, you start noticing odd things going on. You'll go past a building in flames at one point. You noticed at another point in the travels what appeared to look like a pack of vampires crucifying somebody on a monstrous, misshapen-looking tree. Vague glimpses of something inhuman looking, twisted in the shadows along the road as you're moving. It's clear signs that the anti-tributes have been running amok, and why Prince Radu refuses to leave his castle at this point. But once you get past the outskirts and the lands close to Bistraz, everything gets a lot quieter. It takes nearly 2 weeks for you to get over to the city of Hermstadt. And as you're getting closer to it, you can actually see the fortress on the great hill off in the distance, highlighted by the moon above. This is a castle that has stood against Romans, barbarians, Mongols, Turks, even other Transylvanians. Now, the mortals believe that this castle was built by the Saxons, but the truth of the matter is, as many of you know, actually all of you would know, this is another Zelios fortress. It follows the same pattern as most of his others. Slight differences, but it's unmistakable. And as you get close to the front of the castle, Tiberu finally stops the coach and jumps down and opens your door. And he points to the front door where you can see 2 footmen waiting. Before you go in there, just heads up. This castle for this meeting has been declared a state of Elysium. It's a relatively new thing that I've heard about, that essentially it means anyone who commits an act of aggression or attempts to use our powers on one another, you'll be met with punishment by the others at the gathering. Now, this applies to everybody, so be careful. I will be outside here with my horses and my carriage and the coach for when this gathering is over.
Thank you.
And as you approach the 2 ghouls that are standing at the door, one of them steps forward. Good evening. Welcome to Castle Hermstadt. I humbly ask for your names.
Saint Olga.
Yves Marchand.
Peregrine.
Snatcher.
Augustine.
We are the rulers of Belgrade, and
Oh.
we represent the interests of Prince Radu.
Oh, well, I am sorry to have kept you here. I should have recognized the names immediately. Please, please, please follow me. I meant no disrespect. Just please come with me and I will take you to the ballroom where the attendees have gathered. And he begins to immediately lead you into the castle. Augustine, this is kind of your area here. You notice as you're going into the castle, and it doesn't seem like security's that tight. Only the 2 footmen on the door. You don't see any nearby guards. You don't see very many guards patrolling the hallways. You don't see any of the normal kind of things that you would expect. And the way you're led is a rather Byzantine path through. You go through 2 spiral staircases. You go behind a bookshelf at one point through a secret area, several winding corridors. And it's clear that this place is difficult for you to find your way back out of if you need to. But as you go through these dimly lit passages, and all of the sorry, I'm lost my train. Move what down?
The image, because
You move it.
I can't. I can only zoom in.
You can right click and drag to move it around.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes. For the viewers, I've given the players the layout of the room so that they know what's going on when we get in here. Got distracted. Well, you come to a huge set of double doors, which the ghoul opens. Now, so far, this place has been empty. Not been very impressive at all. But behind these doors, as you go to the ballroom, this is where opulence is just everywhere. And as the doors open, I'll describe the room in a second, but this ghoul announcing Olga of Belgrade. I mess this up every time. Eves of Belgrade. Peregrine of Belgrade. Snatcher of Belgrade and Augustine of Belgrade, rulers of that city. And as soon as he announces that, everyone in the room looks to you for a few seconds.
We also come as representatives of the interests of Prince Radu.
And stepping into this room, there's definitely 15 kindred. It was about right. But there's also a raised dais to your right that has a group of musicians. I will say, Yves, this is, they're playing music common of Paris in this large place. There's a fabulous ice sculpture slowly melting in the center of the room. There's obscenely expensive tapestries and paintings all down both walls. There's even a giant banquet table laid out on one side of the wall that nobody seems to be wanting to touch. And you notice that briefly, and then all of you get this overpowering urge to look into one corner. And there's a man standing there, and you can feel, well, your attention is drawn to him, but also fear. I know some of you may not show it, but you feel fear of this individual as he stands there in the corner. Man's 6'4", skin like alabaster, short curly brown hair. Next to him was a woman, about average size, 5'8", 5'9", maybe, long straight blonde hair. And the two of them stand in that far corner of the room, unmoving, just watching. He barely flicks his eyes at you when you were announced to come in. And then immediately after that, Prince Otto comes over to you. You've all seen this prince before. The Ventru put him in place here. The Hungarian Ventru put him in place, but you've met with him at least once in your time. Did I hear that you are actually here representing Prince Radu?
Of course, and Belgrade's interests in this matter.
I just can't believe that some of these Zamitsi are so afraid to leave their castles that they can't even come to something like this.
Do you get out much, Prince Otto?
Well, of course, I get out as often as I can.
Have you gone as far as Bistris?
Oh, God, why would I go up that far?
Exactly. Trust there's a reason why he does not come make the journey.
Well, I'm glad you all could make it. This is going to be an important meeting, but please, feel free to circulate around the room, and I'm sure we'll get to things eventually. And as Prince Otto walks off, to describe what's going on in the room, immediately to your left, Count Vladimir Rustovic is opposite that kindred that you felt afraid of on the opposite sides of the room, with only the ice statue between blocking their line of sight. And Vladimir Rustovic, all of you know of him. He's a powerful Zemitzi. Even those that don't like him pay heed to what he says. And with him are two other Zemitzi that I know Olga recognizes one and Gwen recognizes the other, but also standing with him is a man that you saw in a painting not long ago. Vlad Tepes is standing in the Zemitsi's group. Off to the right, you see Anatole and Lucida. Anatole strikes you as odd tonight because his hair is well combed and groomed, and his outfit is not tattered and falling apart like usual, which is quite an accomplishment. But Lucida is dressed in her standard leathers. There is also a man standing by the ice sculpture that Augustine recognizes. A woman wearing a red dress that is what looks like has roses woven into the edges of it. I know that Yves recognizes her. Back in one corner, Zelios seems to be very interested in examining the walls of this place of all things. Snatcher, somebody you didn't expect to be here because she very rarely leaves Krakow, is Gupta, the Salt Queen. A monstrous-looking Nosferatu that even now appears to have salt crystals stuck into her skin. And of course, into the back of the room, not far from this man and woman that made you feel that fear, is one of your best friends, Nova Arpad, standing next to two obvious Tremiers, judging by their robes, marking them as Maguses. Now, I will give you all a chance before you circulate through the room, because I know some of you know some of these kindred, but the others don't.
I will go up to the ice sculpture and try to.
You're not going to tell your coterie who you're going to speak to?
Oh, I'm going to. I'm getting to that. And then say, Ariane, it's been a number of years. I think we've only met a few times during the courts. Don't see many of Clan Toreador around these parts.
Hey, while you're off there, I'm going to go back to the rest of the group. You're going to have to bring her back here in a second, so.
Oh, Dama Olga, do you see our broodmate over there with the great prophet that is Anatole?
Yes, what on earth are they doing here?
I do not know, but I see a friend of mine on the way to them. I'm going to be courteous and extend my welcome to them. Shall I send them yours as well?
Please do. My mentor in Koldunic sorcery is here, and she nods towards
Razkolgina?
Yeah, Razkolgina, overstanding by Vladimir Rustovich.
When you look over that way, you notice immediately, first of all, that Count Rustovic he keeps cutting eyes to the man in the far corner.
Mm-hmm.
And this gala is not doing well. There's a polarized feel. You can tell that everyone is split off into their respective factions.
Mm-hmm.
And Razkolgina seems to be arguing with another man, the other one that you don't recognize in that group.
Oh. I do enjoy a good argument. I think I'll stop by and say hello.
Do you mind if I come with you? I know that gentleman over there.
Oh, do you?
Aye.
Excellent. Let's go.
Okay.
It seems we all know someone.
Snatcher, keep your eyes aware. I do not like that the usurpers are here with Arpad.
It seems rather typical. but I'll do what I can.
I appreciate it.
Where's Snatcher going to go do?
Snatcher's gonna first try and do a little bit of associative memory. Is the fear that the man in the corner is projecting similar to the strange fear and self-loathing that is experienced when around something true faith-like?
No.
Okay.
This is, I'll be fair, there's an unnatural feel to it. If you didn't know any better, you would say that they're using a discipline of some kind. And Stark, ignoring the edicts of an Elysium.
All right.
Duly noted.
Yeah, I'm gonna first skirt over and say hello to Zelios.
I'll move you over there. Now we'll go back to.
We all knew where that was going.
Yep, we're going to go back to Eves. Oh, Eves, dear. And
Hello.
the woman you're speaking with, just to give a description to everybody, she's got very innocent, bright blue eyes. It lights up her face. And when you take that with her white skin, she almost looks fragile with long, dark tresses, and her posture seems very demure. Now, Eves, you know, that's all an act. Dear God, what are you doing in these beastly lands?
Ruling a city.
Oh, ruling it takes too much time. There's too much other things you could get involved with. I mean, look at this
Yes, but-
party here.
It's actually fairly reminiscent to what it was back home. Not quite, but they like to have some reminder.
Well, at least you'll have some excitement tonight. And she leans forward and whispers to you, well, I really think that man, the Count Vladimir, I think it said his name was, I think him and that man in the corner are going to end up fighting at some point. The way they've been staring daggers at each other, it is simply just unbelievable to watch.
You were watching them for how long?
Oh, the whole time. His name is Dominus.
Dominus.
Yes.
So the guy, that was the guy in the corner.
She points to the guy back in the corner. Yep.
Just exhibiting like you're fearful of him.
Yes. And that lady that seems to be with him, I did find out she's not very much to talk to. She's as many of the clan of the moon. She's Tatiana is her name, but she is so tedious to deal with, obsessive. But you must tell me of well, what brings you here? I know you're rulers, but this is. Do you really think anything important's going to come of this?
I think many things will important come with this, actually. Well, there is an individual here that is of interest to us and to some people we represent as well.
Would that be Vlad Tepes over there? That brute of a warlord? Oh, I think he would make a fun plaything.
Have you seen his portraits?
Well, yes, but I don't care about that. Given
I do not.
He was trained in the Ottoman Empire. He was in the Turkish courts. Have you heard about their skills in lovemaking? Oh, he would be a fun one for me to break. I could break him, make him crawl to me. Oh, it would be glorious.
From what I've heard, that would be very much easier said than done.
So a challenge, that makes it even more fun.
I wouldn't do that. Many eyes are on him. Not, including yours, of course, but I'll just give you a fair warning that any attempts to do what you are thinking of doing will be met with, let's say, violent approach.
Oh, we don't want violence here. Hopefully,
Mm.
I can get him alone for a few seconds. If I can get him alone for a few seconds and she shifts her posture and looks even more vulnerable and fragile, I'm sure I can woo him.
I mean, I give you my warning. You can do what you will, but it's like I said, he has a strong will. Very strong. He
I've-
even
Oh, come now. I've broken stronger than that. And yeah, it's clear why she's known as the instigator of tragic romance.
yes. It'd be interesting to see if he does have it would be interesting because I did ponder this myself on the way here. If he does have, because he seems to have shields on all sides of him. Where is the kink in that shield? Or in that armor?
Well, if he's like most men, the kink is always in the same place. The weakness is between his legs. And for how demure she stands and how innocently she looks, her words are nothing like that.
Yeah. I anything else you have you observed? I mean, I only just arrived, so
Well, do you see those two Tremere over there? Notice how they're standing. They're almost acting like bodyguards of that Ventru Nova over there. I heard she lost her city and had to flee to them for protection, and now she brings them here as bodyguards. The courts are going to love to hear about this, especially when I get back to Hungary. Oh, her fall from grace has been just amazing to watch.
Yeah, fortunately. Back home, you see. So you were in Hungary.
Yes, I've been staying there for the past year or two. A few dalliances there I've been enjoying. My lovers at this point must be worried sick because I've disappeared once again.
Yes.
They shouldn't worry. I'll be back. And when I come back, they'll begin to realize they didn't miss me as much as they thought.
And you'll find some people new, and the cycle will repeat, as it always does.
Well, of course. You find them, woo them, break them, find the next one. It's a fun little game.
Yes. I mean, I've personally was not my game, but it's courtly love. While an interesting prospect, I've never indulged too much in that. I've always been on commission.
You must come to see me then. I can train you in the ways of courtly love. You'd make a fine addition to my stable.
Stable. Wow. Really running them hard as usual. So you will never change. Speaking of back home, you've heard of this Camarilla, right?
Yes.
Is this a new attempt to reestablish the courts?
No, it is an attempt for them to gather power. It could be moderately useful, of course, if it brings the rabble in line a bit. It makes them easier prey. I would be fine with that. But it just strikes me as another one of Hardestat's damn power games. He always wants to be the most important one in the room. And now he's hoping to be the most important one in the world.
Funny how ambition spreads.
I wouldn't know. I don't have ambition, just desires.
Of course.
And as your conversation continues, let's jump over to, we've got Peregrine and Olga over there. Let's jump to Augustine first. Augustine?
Yep. I'm gonna slide up to Stanislav, shake his hand.
And the man you're speaking with, he's a tall man of Nordic descent. He's got blonde hair. His eyes are almost clear, obviously sun bleached. But because he's kindred, that must have meant his eyes had gotten bleached by the sun prior to embrace. He's dressed actually in pelts and furs, but it's, by looking at him, it's obvious these are finely tailored. This is an outfit that he has had designed to put people off, to make him think he's a barbarian without giving up the finer things. And as you are coming up, he's been watching all the groups intently before he flicks his eyes to you. And yes, I didn't expect to see you here.
Oh, my friend, you wound me.
You don't seem to get into this pomp and circumstance. Hell, I don't even know what I'm doing here.
I was about to ask. Please walk with me, and I'm going to take him to Anatoly and Lucida.
Okay. And as he's walking over, his eyes cut over to Nova Arpad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been watching her and those Tremere. Why do they look like they're prepared? Why do they look like they're ready for a fight?
Have you never met Nova Arpad?
No, and I don't intend to, actually.
How fortunate for you. You have been blessed by whatever God you believe in.
Have you caught the look on that man? I said his name was Dominus in the corner.
I have seen, but as long as he stays where he is no threat.
He hasn't moved at all. From this entire time, he sat right there staring. Sometimes people come over and approach him, and he stares at them a bit, and they wander back off. He's up to something. I know he's up to something.
Everyone here is up to something, my friend.
Well, not me. I am. Again, I don't even know what I'm doing here.
So
and as you get over to
Anatoly
and Lucida,
no.
Lucida bows at you, and in the intervening time since you last spoke with her, she's developed quite a reputation as a bit of an assassin.
The little light, allow me to introduce my friend Stanislaus. He's a Bruja, someone that you might get along with.
And she, her eyes narrow as she looks him up and down.
Please.
It's nice to meet you. And he looks over. Your reputation precedes you. And Anatoly looks at all of you. Odd that you're all here at once. Is this part of God's plan for us Canaanites?
Oh. And I'll turn to Stanislav. Be careful of what you say. This man is a believer. I've been told that he can walk on water.
Why would I do that? And Lucida looks over at him. It's a joke. Ah.
Thank you, my little light.
No time for humor. These are dangerous times.
Any time is dangerous if there is no humor, my friend.
I don't know how to respond to that.
No.
And Lucida goes, I can't believe it. You finally caught him speechless.
As you have been trained to kill, I have been trained to unhand men.
That must be our loving sister's work, isn't it?
Of course, you catch on very well.
Oh, I've heard about you all. I'm sure as much as you've heard of my reputation, I've heard as yours. And Stanislav looks over, and now he's eyeballing you too. I did not know you were related.
We share the
Lucida
same
Verborn.
sire. We share the same sire, the same creator.
Oh, well, I am sorry about that.
Everyone is sorry about that.
And Lucida, as he gets mentioned by proxy, I guess to call it, she reaches down and her hand grips a sword a little tighter.
I would not do such things if I were you.
She looks down at her hand. I won't draw it unless I have to protect Anatole here. Unfortunately, he tends to upset people the longer he's around them.
Oh, you finally noticed.
Yes, I've noticed.
Oh, but he looks so scrappy, and I'm gonna pat him on the stomach. Look at him. He's put on so much muscle.
You know how hard it was to get him to comb his hair tonight?
I can only imagine.
Anatole looks over. What does it matter if I'm groomed or not in the eyes of God?
But my friend, if God is with all of us, aren't we all of God's eyes? And as
Then why
such,
should I be groomed?
so that we may look upon you as favorably as God does.
Doesn't matter how you look upon me.
But if I close my eyes, I cannot look upon you. So I must have my eyes open. And if you offend mine eye, then I cannot look upon you. And then you have ruined God's view of you.
And why would you care about that when you should worry about, and he points over towards an obvious Nosferatu who's moving slowly around the room, wizened body stooped, covered in thousands of wrinkles. Her skin is like a greenish gray, but it's actually encrusted with salt crystals. And she only has a few strands of long white hair still hanging from her scalp. I mean, can't
I'm
be
gonna
as
grab
bad
his
as that.
hand. I'm gonna grab his hand and just put it down. It's like, Senor, please do not bring attention to yourself or anyone who does not wish to be attentioned.
And as you're pulling his hand down, you hear from that woman as she cackles at seeing his hand get pulled down.
You see what you do? Now she knows that we have seen her, and now she's going to mortify us with her visage.
And
Where
Lucida
is your
looks
God
over.
now?
That one is madder than he is. And Anatole actually gets a slight hurt look on his face. I'm not mad.
No. It is the rest of us that are. And I'll bow to Lucida.
Why are you angry?
No. You misunderstand the definition of the word. Mad, as in wild.
And Anatole smiles this time. I can tell jokes too.
Please.
And
The stage is yours.
Stanislaus looks at you and looks over at this creature approaching you.
Oh, no.
I am going to make my exit here. Augustine, I do not want to be around her.
No, neither do I, my friend.
Then perhaps you'll come join me at the ice sculpture and we can leave
That is
your lovely sister
idea.
and her companion to speak with the crone.
Olga sends her regards, my little light. But yes, you are correct. And I'm going to say really loudly, Stanislav, this ice sculpture is really wonderful to look at up close. And I'm going to take him and leave that area.
So the two of you beat a hasty retreat as Gupta has now gone to talk to Anatole and Lucida.
Yep, fuck that. I don't need that in my life.
I don't blame you. Let's see, who are we going to go to now? Let's go to Gwen and Olga. As you approach Count Vladimir, Now, this man, he's tall, well built. He's bedecked in the finery that, I mean, it's obvious nobility, but it's not foppish like you see Prince Radu like to wear.
Mm-hmm.
But as always, he's got that slight smile on his face. Raz Korgina beside him, she's tall and big boned.
She's a sturdy girl.
She protects you can see the warrior princess in her.
Mm-hmm.
High cheekbones, pale blue eyes. She's got a stern but regal appearance. And her hair tonight, her long, dark, golden hair is in a single braid, wound with gold thread. Beside her, or across from her, is a man that you've never seen before. Gwen did say she knows him.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of short. His face is very unremarkable. He's got black hair, sharp nose though, but he appears barely in control of his rage. He's very angry about something. And standing at the back of this group is Vlad Tepes, who you and Gwen are quite skilled at reading people. There's a sign of him. He's feeling fear, but he's managed to bottle it very well. He knows that in this room, he's not powerful compared to everybody else,
Mm-hmm.
but he's hiding that fear he has.
Olga's impressed by that. She will approach and acknowledge Count Rostovich first and say, Count Rostovich, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Well met, Saint Olga. And that would make you Peregrine. I've heard wonderful things about Belgrade. You survived the Turkish assault.
Twice.
If you call that an assault.
Compared to what they did to the other cities, I think it would be called an assault. It just you managed to not fail.
Yes.
Again, I said, if you compare that to an assault.
Do you know my companions? This right here, this is Raz Korgina
Yeah.
of Krakow.
Prince Raskajina, it is a pleasure to see you again. And Olga will actually walk up to her, take her hands, and give her a kiss on both cheeks.
And she comes over and kisses both your cheeks. This is Ventilla.
And Peregrine will go and give him a hug or the European greeting.
And he just...
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Ventilla.
When he comes in, when you give him a European greeting, his eyes never leave Raz Korgina. And of course, I'm sure you've all heard of this one. May I introduce Vlad Dracula?
Yes, I am familiar.
And he just nods. Well met.
Indeed.
Of course, naturally.
So, and this is Vladimir speaking. I heard you are being not only here, but you are also here as a proxy for Prince Radu.
Indeed.
Well, I wish he could have made it himself, but I completely understand.
Yes.
He's
Mistress is still under siege.
Yes, it is. And he's been having way too many problems with it.
Yes.
That's what you get for setting up your domain on the eastern side of the country. It's much better if you can set up like mine on the west, and then you only have to fend off your fellow Transylvanians and, of course, the Hungarians.
Yes, well, so long as Belgrade can hold, yours will be safe from Ottomans.
Well, then I hope you hold for a long time.
Indeed.
'Tis the plan.
Seems like a good plan. And as he's talking, his eyes cut over to the far corner as he's checking on the ones in the corner.
Yes, that one has a weird vibe about him, isn't it?
He's flaunting the damn rules.
Of course he is, because no one has the power to take him down.
What's the point of rules if somebody's going to flaunt their own power?
Exactly.
Do you know who he is?
No, do you?
He's a kindred.
He's Dominus.
Surprise.
That's a Roman name.
Yes, he is Roman.
Mm-hmm.
Quite powerful, quite old.
Mm-hmm.
Family?
No, not family. He is Ventru, of all things.
Oh, for the love of all the gods.
Lord.
I believe they call themselves the Nkanu.
Hmm.
Ugh, how Latin of them.
Oh, they are the ones that want to bring Rome back.
Ugh,
Fucking fool's errand if you ask me, but none of us dare tell him to stop it.
I've had enough of that over where I'm from.
I don't know who invited him here or his little friend, but
He's here.
probably here
Oh, well.
spying.
Wouldn't be the first, wouldn't be the last.
Olga looks to Ventilla and says, what has you in such a fuss?
And his eyes briefly cut to Vlad and then cuts back to you.
Mhm.
Nothing. Nothing at all.
You're a poor liar.
And Raz Kajina laughs at that. Oh, this little pup here. He's still upset that Vlad Dracula murdered so many of his compatriots in Wallachia.
And she looks to Dracula and says, why did you murder these individuals?
They opposed me. They got what everyone gets when you oppose me.
And then how
that
did they
it?
oppose you?
They did not acknowledge my rule of Wallachia, so I impaled them on stakes and left them for sunlight.
Oh, so
And
talking
she-
to you doesn't work.
And she looks to Ventilla and says, is that not how it's done?
It is not his right. And Vladimir Rushtovic looks over at Dracula and Ventilla. What's done is done. He did it to secure
Nice.
his land, Ventilla. You've had this argument enough.
My word.
He's a hothead.
Aye.
Can't see the forest through the trees sometimes.
Yeah,
Raz
I can make a
Kajina
pass.
laughs again at him. He's a bloody idiot.
Gee, what's that saying you have, Olga? She'll
Idiot
just look at her.
man.
That's it.
And Count Rustovic looks a little put off by that, but Raz Kajina laughs. I've heard that saying many a time.
Well, you should
Aye.
have. You helped me get my start.
That's valid. Look, what you've all gone through, you're going through. Might as well move on and make something better of the future. Take it from somebody who knows who's been invaded more times than all of you all together.
And Ventilla cuts his eyes to you. The clan can't forget a slight like that. And then Count Rustovic goes, I said enough, Ventilla. And you can
I said-
hear Ventilla's mouth, like his teeth clatter as he shuts his mouth when Vlad takes that, or when Count Rustovic takes that tone. I can't use Vlad. There's too many Vlads here.
I believe that he said enough, but at the same time, you need to have it be enough in your head. Otherwise, you might find a stake in your heart in one way or another outside these walls by somebody, and it's not going to be me. Lay off of it a bit. Again, my country's been landed more times than you've been born. Enough already. Clan can forget and move on for the sake of it.
Ventilla looks like he wants to say something, but then his eyes cut back to Count Rustovic and he won't open his mouth. At least this little pup knows when to stay quiet when his betters have told him so. And Ventilla's eyes, he just narrows them, staring at the Count. And stare at me all you want. You know better. You won't try it.
Raz, may I have a word, please?
Of course.
Excuse us, please, Count.
And we're going to flash over real quick to Snatcher. As you approach Zelios, he is examining the walls. He's actually moving the tapestries to look behind him.
Snatcher will help him.
Snatcher,
Zelios.
They've made changes. This is not what I remember here. There's supposed to be a door right here.
Is it perhaps a door for others, not necessarily us?
No, there was a door right here. I distinctly remember.
Perhaps you can convince them to let you correct the mistake.
I don't have enough time. Don't even know why I came here. But it's not often Prince Otto invites us. So I'm here just to check it anyway. I might as well check the symbols under the place.
I would believe it's your highly refined instincts. You always go where you need to be.
That is true. That is true. What brings you here?
Politics. At the very least, it is Zamisi politics, so it's far from boring.
And you notice Zelios doesn't seem as distracted as normal. Normally, he's not very coherent in conversations. Politics, waste of damn time. There's more important things.
I suppose it begs more what you value with importance. I would say that what I do for my city is important. The minutia of who cares about what I do with my city is not my concern.
Knowledge is actually what's important. I was speaking with that man over there, and he points to one of the two Tremere. One second, I'm going to update that name real quick so that you all can know that one's name because he's giving it out. Celestin, he said his name was. You know, he's the master librarian of Seoris.
Is he really?
He's got very interesting theories on digging up relics of the past in old forgotten places to learn.
You should be careful.
His friend with him. She is not much to talk to. She's told me her name was Malgrazada. And something in her eyes. She's spoiling for a fight. But Celestin is quite interesting to talk with.
And how is dear Nova Arpad?
Insufferable as always.
As most Ventru are.
I haven't figured out, is she here with them or are they here with her?
Impossible to say. Takes bravery to associate with Tremere here.
I didn't have any problems talking with them. I did
No,
ask
you
about
wouldn't.
the symbols that you passed on to have them carved into the mountain. They said they documented them. That reminds me. Would you like to go to Egypt with me, Snatcher?
When?
Not now. Probably after the winter season's passed, so I can get a fresh start. I've heard interesting things about the architecture there and knowledge of the webs of power that I would like to go look into. And maybe you'd like to come with me. As I said, knowledge. To learn something new.
May I have a moment to consider?
Oh, of course.
It is
Like
an
I
interesting
said,
proposition.
I'm
as
not
I have
leaving
never
until
been.
the winter is done. So I will make sure to come by and visit you at some point. and then you can let me know.
I shall. Zelios, it's been a wonder to speak with you, especially now. But you are not the only one I wish to speak with at the moment.
Of course.
Pardon me.
I'm going to go back to trying to figure out where they put this door.
Maybe look for seams in the brickwork.
That's what I'm checking now. I wonder if they hid it behind some sort of mechanism. I could just talk to the stone, but they told me I'm not supposed to use my abilities in here, so.
Perhaps you could glean more information from Prince Otto.
That's a good idea. I'm going to go speak with Prince Otto.
And as Zelio splits off to Otto, Snatcher's going to split off to Gutka.
The Gutka? Okay. And you catch Gutka as making their rounds. We're going to go back to Eves. We're going to be jumping around this whole room. Your conversation with Ariane, she is definitely besotted by the idea of turning Vlad Tepes into her plaything, though no amount of your attempting to convince her seems to deter her from that path.
Right. She'll learn if anything happens. So you said with this building is another Zelios' creation. Oh yeah, I can't use my abilities. I remind myself. I would just try to find some member of. I'll maybe go up with finally take a better look at Vlad Dracula and the party around him, and maybe join in with Gwen.
Okay, so we'll move you over there. Augustine, when you and Stanislaus returned to the ice sculpture, we got out of there just in the nick of time. That old crone. Do you know she actually believes that she is the mortal embodiment of the goddess?
What goddess? The goddess of ugliness?
The goddess that she claims ushers you between one life to the next.
Does this goddess not have a name?
She just calls her the goddess.
With all the talks of the gods has been coming up through the years, that is one god I do not wish to follow or to have notice me in any way, shape, or form.
She is repulsive for sure.
Yes, but speaking of repulsive things, my friend, what have you heard of the anarcho movements in the areas? Are you still in contact?
I know of a few. They're still pushing in northern Transylvania. There's also some issues with Krakow.
You haven't gotten yourself into anything, though, yes?
Oh, no, of course not. If I was involved in any of that, they wouldn't have invited me here. I'm sure Prince Otto would never invite an anarch to a gathering such as this. That would just cause too many problems.
Oh, of course. Why would he invite anarchs when he's already invited the usurpers?
Well, I believe he invited Nova, and she brought those usurpers with her.
Oh, of course she did.
I'll be fair. I don't have that big of an issue with him. As far as I'm concerned, if the usurpers and the fiend want to beat each other into a pulp, that just causes less problems for the rest of us.
Put my hand on his shoulder. My friend, when I had the displeasure of meeting the Tremere, they melted my brain and then put it back together again. It was not pleasant. I do not enjoy their company. I will not enjoy their company. And until they are destroyed from this world, I do not think that we will know a happy day.
You're jesting. That is hyperbole, isn't it?
No, my friend. Speak to any one of my friends, my work friends, and they will tell you It is not a pleasant experience to deal with them.
You say your brain melted and put back together.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I saw the infinitesimal darkness out beyond everything, and then I was shown the light again.
And he actually slides past you to go on the other side of you to put you between him and the two Tremere.
And you are a shrewd fellow, my friend. You think that I am going to save you?
And no, I was going to shove you in their way as I made a run for it if anything started.
Oh,
And he smiles at you.
You are lucky that you have more of the speed in your repertoire than I do, my friend.
I was contemplating going over there and laying into that Dominus and his little tart friend with him, but
do it.
Nah, they're too close. And you know how Ventru are. If I start messing with him, I'll have to worry about Nova and her pet Maguses on my back.
Oh, I can keep an eye on them if you wish to puff your chest out to these Dominus. You forget who you are, my friend. You were the leaders of Carthage. You were at the forefront of ingenuity and culture. You are scholar kings. What is he but a Ventru? A Semitsi with a fancy name? Who is he to you?
Well, why don't you come with me and we'll both go talk to him?
Yes, go. Yeah, you stand in front of me this time.
As long as you're coming with me.
Of course. That way I am not behind you, as in I am afraid of him, but I am watching your back against the Tremere so that they don't sneak up on you. It is true friendship.
So the two of you go over there, but you are making sure that you're behind him, but
100%.
also but between
100%.
him and the Tremere. Okay.
Yeah. Like hand on his back and everything, just reassuring. But I know that I can just push him if I have to.
Okay. We're
they're
gonna
just
flash.
blocking. Sorry, they're just blocking each other from the thing they don't want to be near. So they're just each other's walls.
And this is where having a layout of the room helps because you can see the positioning as we're doing it. We're gonna go to Olga and Razkojina.
All right.
Little Olga, it's good to see you again. I was hoping you would come here.
Of course.
I was hoping Otto would get it through his thick skull that to invite decent people.
I don't know how decent we are, but we are good at what we do.
You are better than those damn Arpads.
That's not hard to do.
Don't know why he invited her. She doesn't even have she lost her city and slunk off to the fucking usurpers of all things.
Speaking of, Ross, the Anarchs have eyes on Krakow.
When haven't they? They won't take my land from me.
How are things with your child?
Turbulent.
Well, you have always had a knack for picking strong-willed women that would likely be your undoing. You were smart enough to pawn me off on Makata.
Now look, we've had that talk. I don't know if it was smart of me to do that in the first place because you're still a tool for him.
No, I'm really not.
As long as you are bound to him, you are.
Yes. Well, if things are turbulent between you and your strong-willed child, Azara, be wary she may join the Anarchs and move against you.
I will squash her if she tries.
If she brings an army with her, will you squash her? Be realistic, Raz. I know you are powerful, you are strong. You are of the same line of people as I am.
I
We are
won't.
warriors at heart, merchants by necessity, and queens when we must.
I won't bow to them or anyone else. It is my city. I won it through rights of conquest. I have held it through rights of war. I have defeated all those who come against me to try to take it from me.
I speak to you not as a Lasombra to a Zamitzi. I speak to you as one Slavic daughter to another. You are in danger.
If I am, I will die in my city, holding my city. I will not give that up. I won't become like her. And she points at Nova Arpad. I will not leave my city unless it is of my accord, because I have chosen to walk somewhere else. Sure, you, as a daughter of the Kievan Rus, understand that.
I do. I do. And she will actually squeeze Roz's hand and say, then if this is the last time I may see you, let me give you my true appreciation and thanks and gratitude. You allowed me to birth a son that created a dynasty.
I saw the potential in you even then. You would have made one of us, a very good one of us.
I am a far better Lasombra, though.
I think you would have been better as a master of the land like we are, but as I said, boons must be paid at times.
Indeed. And besides, I won't be the instrument of your downfall. I'll be the instrument of his.
And her eyes get a shrewd look on him. It is bold talk for one bound.
I didn't say I was.
I wouldn't mention that around Count Rustovic.
I will not. But it is very hard to rule as one is inclined to when there is a madman holding your leash.
He has many things. I wouldn't call him mad. Deluded.
Oh, he's perfectly mad.
Still very dangerous.
Oh, I did not say he wasn't. But one thing that is in common, and she looks to Augustine and she looks to their baby sister, Lucita. One thing he seems to really prefer, even if he doesn't realize it, is individuals that are ruthlessly efficient.
I suspect Lucida of Aragorn over there is doing what she's doing to spite him, of all things.
Absolutely.
Well, I do hope it's his undoing.
It will take some time, I believe, but one day. And I'm not going to go Anna. That is folly.
It is. They can't win.
But, Ross, I wish you success in holding your city. Truly. And she squeezes her hand one more time.
And she actually pulls you closer and gives you a big embrace.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're gonna go, Gwen, after Olga left, what did you do?
She actually talked to the guys for a few minutes, but she's looking directly at Vlad Dracul, the one we have to talk about, the one we're like deciding about. And she's just kind of staring at him like for a moment, go, can we talk for a moment?
And Count Rushtovic eyeballs you for a second, and then looks towards Prince Dracula. Go ahead, talk with her. And then Vlad Tepes, he bows a little. And the two of you step aside a bit. Let me move some people around here. And
Everyone
as
just
you're
move around on
moving
the
off to
board.
the side with Vlad, Count Rushtovic goes, it'll be a perfect chance for me to discuss propriety with Ventilla for a few seconds.
You're welcome. I shall look right at Dracul and go, so what you make of all of it?
I do not like the lack of unity.
I agree. Go on. Tell me your thoughts.
I would expect them to, in this place surrounded by enemies, to be a wall, not bickering amongst themselves. Gives me things to think about.
You know what position you're in, don't you?
I suspect.
What's your thoughts? What do you want?
I don't know.
You're going to have to find out right quick now, aren't you?
I think I have a little more time.
How much more time you think you got?
With the way they are arguing, I can play them off for enough.
Well, let me let you in a little bit of a secret there, boyo. You ready? I'm Irish. I'm going to be right blunt with you. I'm okay at politics, but I don't give a shit. I'll tell you now. You got maybe about 5-10 years before they turn around and really nail you. And then, one way or another, you're going to find yourself again, one way or another. Now, you can play long game, try and get more time. But at the same time, once they actually put their foot down, they're kind of right quick with things. So,
Makes sense. That is part of why I am building allies.
and
Count
which allies are you?
Rushtovic.
Look, who else? Besides the one that's a little bit pony up about you.
My understanding is he has a fair amount of power, though his lands are far from mine. Do you know of others I could speak with to find more allies?
I would avoid the venture from Hungary, but you can also talk about us. We're definitely, shall we say, a bit of a motley crew. Our families are, shall we say, vast, but we're always on the same page in one way or another. We're individuals, but we act like a group. And the funny bit
Unity is
is
important.
Aye, but
Belgrade, as I understand it, has developed into a mercantile powerhouse.
aye, you're welcome for that. If you are wanting trade, you talk to me. Also, schooling, as well as social endeavors. we've turned around and did quite well with, shall we say, orphans and widows from several different wars in a couple of hundreds of years that has built a reputation of our marksmen, tradesmen, and have also turned around and allied them and allowed them to other cities. It wasn't just about making us a fortress. It was what we could do to the communities around us to fortify us into a larger community.
Those are lofty ideas.
It's not lofty. I've been doing it for almost several hundred years, my lad.
I have to take my country back first.
Aye.
That means
But how do you do
war.
that?
That
No.
means slaughter. That means more impalements. That means
Okay, hold your horses down for a moment and open your ears and close them out for a moment. Just for a moment. Trust me on this. What if you were to turn around and build a larger community that not just, listen to me for a second before you try and pull your impalement out. What if you turned around and got those allies to come together with you to fight with you, to unify? Do you know what country I'm from?
you said you're Irish?
Aye.
I don't know a
Well-
lot of that. I know what I learned in the Ottoman court. I know where it is. I know some of it.
What do you think we united against the Vikings, against the English? We made communities and we built up against each other and with each other. So we
I
could turn around.
united Moldavia
Aye.
and Wallachia myself. If not for the Ottomans, I would still be ruling Moldavia and Wallachia. If not for the
And how-
betrayal of the Hungarians, I would still be ruling those lands.
That's when you turn around and say, Peregrine, how did you turn around and defeat the Ottomans? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Really, I'm touched. Learn from history, my dear.
I know you know how to handle a siege.
Aye.
I know how to handle war. I know how to fight the Ottomans because they trained me to fight.
Aye. Do you not think I don't know about war?
They will only respond to brutality, to being taught that the only way they can take it is to lose everything to take our lands back from us.
And you're talking to a former slave who's lost everything, survived the pits of the ghouls, and became one of her own.
I don't
You-
know about what being a ghoul is. I've heard
It means being a
rumors.
slave back to the Ottomans again. We have no say, but you live forever. Kind of, sort of, in a way. You need to turn around and build more community and less war. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But you're still stuck up in your wee head.
that may
Yeah, I
work
see
where
that
you
right
are
there.
from. But here, in this land, the war is the only answer. Now, if I can get allies to help me with the war, of course, I will do so. That is what I'm working on. That is why I agreed to come here, of all places.
What you gonna give for allies is my question. What you trade? What you got?
I would expect they would see the benefit of one ruler rather than the Ottomans. My understanding is even your kind chafe when dealing with the Ottomans. What do they gain? They gain breathing room. They gain no more Turkish invaders, no more disruptions of their cities. As you know, Moldavia and Wallachia stand on the border. They are the border with the Ottomans. They
True.
gain more than enough by supporting me.
But so does Belgrade. So does us. On top of that, I'd like to point out one thing. I've seen empires fall and rise and fall. The Ottomans are no different. They are subject to the same thing as so is you. So, my dear, question is that what do you have to offer in trade for us? so that we can help you with your problem.
I have nothing to trade other than the goodwill of the ruler when it's unified.
And
That
what
means
goodwill is it
open
going to be?
trade. That means, as you like to gather, less invasions.
Invasions to me, I come here known or not. I'll kill them either way. Doesn't matter to me. My thing is how are you going to build a community afterwards? How are you going to bring up the people? How are you going to bring up those that have lost so much? How are you going to deal with the food and the wheat? The artisans and the people that are going to make your community better? How are you going to unify everyone underneath impaling? That's my question to you.
The people already love me. They see what I do as a great thing.
But I'm trying to see if you can step out of that box for a moment. That's my thing.
One day, perhaps once I have won a war, I will have a chance to step out of a box, as you put it, to explore other things. But to take the time to build what you're saying, Wallachia will be ground under the heel of the Ottomans. There'll be nothing left to save.
So you've never gardened before, I take it?
No.
Right.
The only thing I have planted are
As a seed of war.
Turks.
But yeah, that's part of building a garden, isn't it? Have to have fertilizer.
Maybe one day I will be able to talk this peace and plans.
Right. Well, when you win your war, you know where to get me. You know where to find me, and we'll talk. How's that? Sound good?
Of course.
And she'll actually gently pat his shoulder and be like, "Nice talk, lad. You have a good one." And she'll turn around and see who else she can bother for a moment.
Okay. And as he comes back, I've got to ask, Eves, were you using heightened senses at all? I know it's an Elysia,
No,
but it's hard to detect anybody using something like that. So I was just curious if you're using it.
Yeah, I think I'll mingle with someone and heighten listening.
Okay. So you caught a good bit of what Gwen and Vlad were talking about. You also caught Vladimir or Count Rushtovic ripping Ventilla a brand new asshole about the way he was speaking to an honored guest. And then speaking continually, opening his mouth and inserting his foot in it in front of the rulers of Belgrade. The Count is not happy with this.
No.
And before we go on to additional conversations, because I know Augustine is up by Dominus, Snatcher is over by Gupta, we're going to go to break right here. We will see everybody in 10 minutes. Please enjoy the break.
All right.
Tag team, welcome back, everybody. Before the break, we're at the party at Prince Otto's where, I mean, there's some power players in the room and there's a lot of political maneuvering and carrying on that's going with this gathering. But as we've left off, Gwen had just finished talking to Dracula. If you're on the Discord, by the way, you can pop over to Dark Ages chat and actually posted up the image of the party showing where things were as of break, who's talking to who, and who all's present, just to give people an idea of what we're talking about here. Augustine was up with Stanislaus to talk with Dominus and Tatiana. Nobody's talking to Nova Arpad and the Maguses.
No.
Because fuck them.
Fuck them.
Snatcher had moved over to Gutka, yes. And then Olga had just returned from Razkolgina, as Gwen had just returned from speaking with Vlad Dracula, and Yves Marchand had come over from talking with Buckcherry, aka Crazy Bitch Toreador. Her name's Buckcherry now.
Solid as fuck.
A deep dive with that one. So as we're starting up, let's go over to Augustine and Stanislaus. As you approach these two in the corner, you can feel the power radiating off this man in the corner. You could actually, it gets harder to be close to him. And as the two of you get close, this position of this man, he's almost standing like a centurion on guard. He looks over at Stanislaus. Furs. How novel. And you notice his face doesn't show a hint of emotion. He doesn't even blink.
You are not a fan of the furs, my friend. With winter coming, it shows foreshadowing. He sees ahead.
What does winter mean to our kind? The furs are provincial.
Oh. You remind me of someone. Nova, have you introduced yourself? This is someone that you would like, I think. You two are very short and curt and difficult to be around. What is your name, good sir? Some people still use traditions and introduce themselves. I am Agustin.
You may call me Dominus. The lady next to me is Tatiana.
Oh, such a gentleman introducing the lady. I wouldn't have thought that.
Tatiana steps closer to you. You are already embraced. You're not going to be the one.
No. Thank you, though, for your interest. Why are you in the corner? Why aren't you with the rest of us? What makes you so special or so hated? Are you hated? I wouldn't want to be hated because I interacted with you.
Tatiana just looks at you and goes, there's nothing to be gained here. None of those minstrels are worthy. They are not the one I seek. And Dominus looks over. I am in the corner because any who wish to speak to me will come to me, as you have.
Oh, that is exactly what I said to my friend. Isn't that what I said to you? You have to go to him because he is standing so still. It's like statue.
And Stanislaus
like
looks at you, looks at him, looks back at you.
I just nod.
He did kind of say that, yes.
Yeah, like go with it, please.
And Dominus just gets, it's a smile, a smirk on his face, but it barely moves his face at all.
And then turn back. Nova, have you introduced yourself to Dominus? You could learn a thing or two about his technique. Flawless.
She won't speak to me again because I told her to take her pet magi, the fuck
usurpers,
away from me.
Yes. Filthy creatures.
What they did was an abomination.
It
do
is?
They think they have power?
No. Well, one of them did melt my brain and put it back together again, but I am still here. So how strong was he really, right?
Well, I'm sure when you have a weak brain, it is easy to take apart and put back together.
Oh, you wound me, sir, and here I am being friendly to you.
I am being friendly. Were I not being friendly, you would know.
Oh. You are not Simitsi, yes?
No, I am Ventru.
Yeah.
Simitsi.
Oh.
They think they rule these lands when the land rules them. No.
That is why I had to ask my friend. It felt very much like you were Simitsi, but I had to make sure that if you were, I'd introduce myself properly. Eventually, though, I can say I have introduced myself as I should to a Ventru. And I have taken your introduction and I've brought it to my bosom.
You could have skipped an introduction and stayed on your side of the room with the rest of the rabble.
Oh, I see now why you are alone. Tell me, what road has you this so far removed from the rest of us? What could you have possibly seen in your time that has twisted you this way?
I have seen the rise and fall of more empires than you'll imagine. I watched Carthage burn. Have you done that?
I'm just gonna hold Stanislav's shoulders like he did not mean it. He did not mean it to my friend. Please control
And
yourself.
you can feel Stanislav vibrating, but the sheer power coming off this Ventru standing here, even Stanislav can't push it.
Oh, please tell me I heard this across the room.
No, he hasn't said it loud enough. He speaks
Damn
with a
it.
very soft,
I'm
even.
going to.
Olga has the perfect fucking comeback.
I'm about to. But I'm
There
gonna.
are
I'm gonna
Romans on
pull.
pikes just across the Carpathians.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull Stanislaus away and just be like, "How dare you bring up Carthage in front of a Bruja, my friend? Who would do such a thing?"
One who set fire to the walls and salted the earth.
Are we talking about Nova again? Nova, we're talking about you. Come.
And his eyes cut to her, and you see her visibly shrink back from him.
Delicious.
She knows where the power lies in here.
Oh,
She knows her place.
I see. At your graciousness, can I excuse my friend Stanislaus so you may tell me more about your rampage through history?
No, I think instead you will leave me and Tatiana alone. And you can't, before you realize it, your feet are walking away.
Yep, I felt that.
And now we can flash over to Snatcher and Gutka. Yeah.
As Snatcher was sort of slow walking as he witnessed all of that, but he does go up to Gutka and does extend his hand in greeting. Well, hands. He's going to probably clasp hers.
And she
if
takes
she
your hand.
acknowledges it.
The crone welcomes you.
And what wisdom can I receive from the goddess this evening?
You'd have to make a proper sacrifice in blood. And then the goddess would give you her wisdom.
Perhaps later then.
Do you see these fools here acting like any of this matters? This is strange that they gather like this. Look, they so clearly hate each other, and yet they resist the urge to fight.
Well, fighting would lead to quite the bloody waste of Vitae.
Oh no. It would be delicious.
For some.
For
And
those willing to be great.
Storyteller.
Mhm.
Snatcher doesn't know if her delusions are more true or not. He doesn't bother with whether his clanmates are sane or not. They're still clan. But Snatcher would like to take a moment to see if the one who claims to be the crone as the shepherd of the dead, the watcher of the dead, if there are any ghosts about her or the room in general.
She is surrounded by ghosts.
I figured as much.
All of them glare at her with hate in their eyes.
Of course. But Snatcher's going to do his best to make sure that he doesn't acknowledge them, but he was subtly checking. And while he's doing it, I'd also like to do a quick scan of the rest of the room to see if there's anyone else being followed.
No, they seem to all have gathered around her. You're not sure all of them are here You don't know if she brought them here or they've gathered because she's here.
Either way, she's their focus.
And none of them like her.
That's honestly sort of expected given what she's claiming.
And Prince Otto even cuts eyes at her too because she leaves little salt crystals all over the floor as they come loose of her skin as she walks around.
I can't be grossed out. I am literally covered in scales. So it's a wyvern talking to a salt deposit.
And she looks over at you and her eyes cut to Dominus in the corner. That pup over there, he's just so heavy-handed with intimidation, thinks the Romans will rise again. I've seen empires like his fall, rise and fall. It won't be back, not as he wishes it.
Having seen an example of a true Ventru that has earned my respect, he falls quite short by simply being what he is already.
And she cuts her eyes to him, and her voice suddenly gets real loud, because he's a fool in that corner. And then she stares at him, and Dominus's eyes lock on hers, but he's the one who looks away, not her.
I think Snatcher just found his favorite person at this party.
Why did you come, little one? Did you come to speak with Otto? In her
Otto,
flesh-crafted face?
Otto was part of it. But I am here as representative of Count Radu to help weigh in on the Zamisi plight that is, and he'll just gesture over to Dracula, who's probably currently in the midst of conversation with Eve and Olga.
Yep, he's just got back from talking with Gwen. Oh, I came because I heard that they invited the one who thinks she rules my city, and Raskogina. She gets misguided about things, so the real ruler should have been here, which was me.
When you are not ruling, what occupies your time?
Sacrifices. You must sacrifice to this crone.
Is supply keeping up with demand?
Oh, of course. They like to mine the salt, and when they come to mine the salt, they enter my sacrifice chambers. The salt preserves them for quite a while afterwards, too. You should come sometime to see my sculptures.
I would love to. May I ask you a small curiosity of mine?
You can ask.
You know the Grand Witch, do you not? Met her in some fashions?
The crone, yes. I am her embodiment. I met her the night I went to see her when I was plagued by age and infirmary, and I just wanted the pain to end. And the crone came to me, and she made me strong again. She took that pain from me and told me I would be her embodiment in this world. I have not seen her since, but she gifted me with her countenance. It made me beautiful like her.
May I ask where you met her?
In the salt mines of Krakow. Before it was that, of course, it was something else totally then. This was so long ago, so very long ago, before anyone built the city. It was just us. I was their holy woman, their wise woman. I slept for ages before I woke to find a city over me. It is my city. I just let her, and she cuts her eyes to Razkojina, thinks she rules it, but it is mine.
I do in some ways hope to one day encounter this crone myself. We shall see if I am ever so fortunate.
You have to pray to the crone and hope that goddess will come to you.
Then I shall. Gutka, always and forever, my dear sister Nos. Take care.
And you take care as well, Snatcher of Londinium.
Indeed. Sometime since I've been back.
Oh, I know. I know all these things. I see it in the salt.
I will leave you to the rest of the event.
I think I'm going to go and speak to the usurpers a bit. They look like they need to bask in the glory of the goddess. And you can tell by the way she says it, she knows exactly it's going to annoy them. She just wants to go piss off usurpers.
Ask them about Verstania.
I was going to ask them if it's true that their lord is nothing more than an armless, legless maggot.
I can answer that one. Yes.
And she cackles a bit again and makes her way over to the Tremere and Nova. And Nova obviously looks sickened immediately. She wants nothing to do with this, but she won't step away from her two Tremere Maguses.
And everyone also sees Snatcher look fondly after Gutka as she goes up to annoy the Tremere.
Okay, so we've got Gwen. Where did Gwen go? After
Gwen went over to see Lucida.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Olga, as you come back from talking to Razkojina, Eves is over there now with her.
Oh, so what she'll do is she will actually walk up to Eves and put her arm in his.
Okay.
Oh, I was saying, did you get a chance to? What is he like?
He is a Draculasty. He is a line off the Basarabs. You know Sherazina. Oh, you weren't around when Sherazina was still prior to her embrace. Oh, yes. They are, you remember Dragomir, her brother?
Would I?
Yeah,
I don't
He
remember.
was in the cave.
He was in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
cave.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And Eves was also there when he retold the play of him
Yes.
diablerizing his sire.
Yes. So of course, Dragomir is kind of a poor example. He was truly mad. But they are they are kind of the ruler revenants on this side of the Carpathians.
Yes.
So they kind of have that about them. And they, being that they are rulers in this land where it is brutal, they tend to be warlords.
I did overhear and Gwen's conversation.
Yes. So, and we're talking about this before we actually approach him. Literally, the way I see it, okay, he is going to be very concerned about the state of his country, his land.
Yes.
He is going to be very concerned about making sure it is unified and consolidated under his rule. From what we understand, he doesn't know all that he is. He might think that his family just is long-lived if they don't get killed. But he knows he's pissed off a number of individuals all around, and he's probably going to get killed, so he has limited time to accomplish his goals.
Yes.
So he
yes,
is very focused on these goals.
I can hear that. Yes.
So that is what I think we are dealing with here. But he's not an idiot. He is using what he was taught by the enemy against the enemy. That shows genius. Because these soldiers come into this country and they do not expect us to fight like them.
He's master of the unexpected, I guess.
Exactly. As any good Samitsi should be.
So, what is? No one has since talked about his invited him, right? That we were, of
No, let's go invite him.
course.
And so we will
What was
approach.
what was your angle? Before I stopped. What was your angle? Or
My angle?
like, well, if he's, how are we persuading him to come with us with our protection? Don't think he'll immediately trust us.
No, but he's a smart man. He'll pick up on it quickly. I'll handle it.
I'll be at your side, and
Feel free to contribute as much as you wish.
of course,
Okay. We'll come back to you two on that one. Gwen, as you go over to Lucida and Anatole, they seem to be relieved that Gutka has been pulled away by Snatcher. And Lucida nods as you come up, and Anatole looks at you. The rose who is not.
The man who is not either, aye.
Fair.
Of course.
Very
Trying
fair.
to... Let's not call each other out, shall we?
Oh, I meant no offense.
Took none.
I say things.
I'm
And
aware.
Lucida goes, and you don't know when to stop saying things sometimes.
It's called prudence. You may want to learn a little bit about it. I'm just Irish. I can't help it.
He's like a babbling brook.
Oh, you're whistling a song that I'm really very known about. So I just wanted to come to you really quick.
Me?
Of
Now,
course.
why would you wish to speak with me?
I've heard you've been getting a bit of a reputation.
You kill 9 or 10 Canaanites, and suddenly you have a reputation. I've been doing what I can to defend my friend here.
Aye. Question is that you want to learn more.
I've learned there is a advantage to being feared.
Feared, loved, it doesn't really matter. What matters is how quickly you can poke a sword through your opponent and how fast you can make them die. That's the thing you need to do. Aye?
And with our kind, it's how quick you can separate their head from their shoulders.
And she'll just twirl her fan going, you see that this is made of wood, aye?
Oh, I know that.
Aye. Here's the thing of it all, dear. Do you want to learn how to be better
Of course
than
I
what
want
you
to
are
be better.
now?
It's the only way I'll break free is to be better.
Then, my dear, open up your ears and shut your mouth, because I'm about to drop a name for ye.
Enlighten me.
Have you ever heard of the? I don't know. I don't care what everyone calls each other. Have you heard of the assassin Phantom?
Rumors?
Oh, 'tis nae a rumor. Shall I tell you a little secret?
You know,
That's
she
safe
is
between you and me,
considered.
aye?
I say rumor because she is considered a bit of a boogeyman.
'Tis nae a boogeyman. 'Tis seen her with me own eyes. Spoken with her with her own lips. Held abreast when somebody maybe trained me. I can attest
And you know her.
to. I know her rather well.
I think you and I should have a talk at some point. May I call upon you in your city the next time Anatoly and I are passing through?
How about you call upon me when you are coming by? Because I think you're going to be the one that needs to hear more of this than your dear friend here. He will. However, I will say, be privy to your newfound skills when you meet her and hopefully train with her. But I'd like to talk to ye because I think ye need a moment of reprieve to focus on yourself to get cleared up here for what you're going to learn.
It is rare that I am away from Anatoly for long. He is not just my friend and traveling companion. He is important to me. I'm
not saying like separate from like different countries, but dear God, woman, let him in one city and let him stay for like a couple of days. Yeah, you ain't married to him. He isn't your ball and chain. For fuck's sakes, woman, you have more freedom in right now than most women in this whole fucking world. True?
If I can
If
find him in a safe place, I will come visit you without him.
Don't tell me if.
I have to say if because I don't know where we're going to be at any given point in time. It'll have to depend on where he's going.
She gently puts her finger to the creature's lips and goes, stop saying if and say when.
When
Thank you.
I can have him settled for a time peacefully, I will come see you.
I'm talking no more than a week. I don't want to have you separated from your beloved, but at the same time, you need to breathe for Christ's sake. I can, and she'll look right to her and say, I can say the word grace, eh?
Yes, you can say it.
Good, because I'm nothing more than a heathen, but I want to make sure that if I'm taking your Lord's name in vain, at least I'm doing it as a good Irish woman.
I find that is an odd thing that they don't wish the Lord's name in vain, and yet he's designed so many things in this world that would cause you to take his name in vain. I think it is all part of his plan, you see, so call him what you will.
I call him just a man, but that's just my impersonation of it. But anyhow,
Do you know, I've had a group that called God she.
Aye? It's called the goddess. Have you not catched up on your theology? Or are you that much kicked off the road?
It made sense when they explained it, that if God created everything and it is the women who create the children, then that would also make God a woman.
And Anatoly, hear me out just one moment. Okay? The goddess created the earth. She made man because we needed something to unfortunately, intimidate us. We then gave birth. We rule the world secretly, and you're just the head that we turn. Okay? There you go. That's all you need to know about life. Okay? You good? Good. I'm so happy. Yeah. So anyhow, just come on over. You and I have a bit of a chat over, a little bit of tea or whatever you drink, whatever. And, I will actually try to find my dear friend Fatima so that you two can have a nice long chat. How's that sound to you?
I look forward to it. And she bows. This time instead of just nodding, she actually does a bow for you. It's a formal bow that I think you've seen Augustine do maybe twice ever. Augustine's not big on bowing anymore.
No, and Peregrine will completely return it, and then she'll actually go up to when Gata gets done with the usurper. She'll actually talk to Gata because why not?
Yep. We're going to flash to Olga and Yves as you have. You want to talk to Dracula?
Yes.
Do you ask the Count? Do you just pull him aside? What is your plan? Because he's returned right back to the center of the group. But as you approach the group, the Count looks at you and his eyes cut to Ventilla. I think Ventilla has something he wishes to say.
I am all ears, Ventilla.
And Ventilla goes, I spoke out of turn in front of my betters. Accept my apology.
It is accepted, but at the same time, I asked what was bothering you, and you told me. So I thank you for that.
You are gracious.
I am a saint. Shouldn't I be?
And the Count still has that smirk. See, he can be taught manners, can't he?
He can. He can. It is interesting to see the difference of opinions over a man. And she points to Dracula.
He is an exceptional man
Oh, indeed.
with great promise, I think. Provided he chooses the correct path for guidance.
And what path exactly would that be, Count?
Well, if I can offer my own humble assistance in it, I would like to assist him in gathering his army, to lend him my aid in taking back his country. And if things line up, him enjoying the gift of immortality.
And she looks to Dracula and says, is that what you wish? Please speak.
It is something to consider. I will, of course, gladly accept assistance taking back my country.
Yes. How many Ottomans currently occupy Wallachia?
More than we can count.
That is not good.
But as for the joining your ranks as a vampire, that has yet to be determined, doesn't it? Not just from me, but from your own kind.
Oh, yes, there are some here that think you are far too dangerous and wish you to be murdered. Being of the line you are from, I'm sure you're very familiar with that. And
They are upset at,
yes, you've been destroying vampires, yes.
had they followed my rule, I wouldn't have had to do it. And Ventilla's eyes sharpen again, and Count Rustovic just gets that smirk.
And she just looks to Ventilla and says, you know exactly what he is. He does not, but you do. What did you expect?
And Rustovic goes, he acts like one of us even when he isn't. Failure to
Isn't that what you designed them to be?
failure to acknowledge those above you, it normally leads to punishment of an extreme kind. And as he says it, his eyes go back on Ventilla, and you can see Ventilla drop his eyes to the floor.
I understand that more than you realize. And she looks to Raz. However, she looks to Dracula. You will need more than your army to rout and displace the occupying force. Agreed?
Agreed.
And she looks to the Count. Just mustering his army isn't going to be enough, and you know this.
There are others that, well, how can I say this? Now that he has a Hungarian wife, you'd be amazed at even those treacherous Ventru, how fast they will help rally to his calls.
Yes, until they betray you later.
As they already did once.
Of course.
I think he's learned that lesson.
Of course. So yes, I would not count on that. But at least short term, perhaps. Some bodies to throw at them. Yes, you will need assistance.
And Count Rustovik looks at you, and where do you expect him to find this assistance?
Why, I dare say the city and fortress that has held through 2 sieges. We have a significant military. And we have siege weapons. Because they didn't get to leave with them.
The Hungarians did get some of them.
They did.
I am aware of that. One was used on my fortress just last year.
Was it?
They lost that one.
Good. So you have
Looked like
one
it.
too to bring. And she looks to Dracula with a wicked smile on her face, and she says, "Do you follow the orthodoxy, dear Lord Dracula?"
No, I have embraced the Western.
Oh, the Roman Catholic. So that's okay. I'm revered in that one too. You may know me as Saint Olga of Kiev.
A saint.
Yes.
Can't say I've had the pleasure of meeting a saint.
I might be the only one you ever meet. They say I am the patron of widows and converts. But those in the East, in the land that was once known as Rus, know me as the patron saint of revenge. Belgrade will help because it will be some time before their armies come banging on our walls again. We sent them screaming as they ran, lit quite a few Assamites and Setites on fire. It was glorious. And then after, when you have unified your country and routed out all the bloody aldermans, at least for a time, they'll come back. You know it. And she looks to Dracula. You were in their court. You know it. They will come back. There will be trade between Wallachia and Belgrade. I would say Serbia, but Serbia is mostly Ottoman-controlled at this time, and I cannot control that. But Belgrade will hold for as long as she can.
As I told your friend, the time to discuss trade will be after
Indeed.
the war is won, not prior. It does no good to put the cart in front of the horse.
But you will also need other allies. You are very fortunate, Lord Dracula. My Chalda, Sherazina Basarab, rules a city in Wallachia. She will come to your aid.
I was under the impression the Basarab dynasty was replaced by my grandfather.
Yes. Her line married into the kings of Serbia. But she's a distant relative. I shall send word to my child. She will aid you. For Wallachia is her home as well. And she would help you fight for it, Lord Dracula.
And he nods, and Count Rustovic goes, so Belgrade, he has my support.
And I believe you may have the support of another, Lord Radu, Prince Radu, has invited you to his castle in Tahuta Pass.
Count Rustovic looks over at Dracula and goes, I am Count Radu, and my goals align quite often. You would do well to accept an invitation to meet with him.
His hospitality is surpassed by none.
And Vlad Dracula looks at you and then looks at the Count. Well, then I would be a fool not to accept an invitation such as this.
Beautiful.
And as this conversation is going on, suddenly the doors crash in, kicked completely off their hinges, both giant double doors, as 5 blood-stained, fangs-bared vampires storm into the room. Right here, everybody, we're going to end episode 2 of season 5 of Vampire Dark Ages Glimpses of History. Party crashers.
Bound to fucking happen.
Yeah.
Yep. Especially as Augustine noted coming in, security was kind of lax. And I'd like to thank my players, you the viewers. Thank you for coming out for this one. XP tonight. Everybody gets 4 XP for tonight. In this economy.
In this economy.
That's right. 4 XP in this economy. Hey, XP is free, but I still can't afford to give too much away. Not like it matters. You all are just rapidly accruing XP anyway. So it was an interesting episode. This has been, well, no dice rolling were needed. This has been one big political maneuvering. And there's a definite undercurrent of politics through every conversation that went in here. And it shows by either Gutka's indifference to who she pisses off. She doesn't care. To Lucida and Anatole staying away from everybody else in the room. Dominus standing in his corner threatening whoever gets close to him. While Nova Arpad, who's been told not to speak to him, but still hovers close to him as if seeking his protection. And the Zamitsi sitting in their far corner by themselves, not speaking with anyone else. And Ariane, who stayed in the middle the entire time, in the no man's land between groups, so that she could accurately watch both.
Yep.
And I'd like to thank my players and you, the viewers, everybody. Please join us on a Discord. The Discord's where you can see, well, the room layout. It was laid out like a checkerboard for a reason. It's one giant game of chess tonight. Who controls the pieces? Who knows? Also, if you're on our Discord, of course, you can, we cast our shows from the Discord. So when we have casting calls up, like we still do have now, for somebody who wants to play Saturday afternoons in Call of Cthulhu, they're on break, but I think they're coming back July 5th, I believe is when they're coming back. So Get ready for some more Call of Cthulhu, or maybe something else. I think Tess said she might run something else. She hasn't decided yet. She's running out of time. But please join us over there. We also do Zoom Hangouts when we're not streaming Fridays and Saturdays, and we just have a good community, so you should pop over for that. If you want to catch our back episodes, I got to speed up our outro because it's late already. If you want to catch our back episodes, please pop over to our YouTube, catch our back episodes, not just of this stream, of all of our streams, including Kansas City, which had its final episode last Friday, which leaves only a cast Q&A this Friday for our final cast Q&A. So please join us for that. If you want to see some Call of Cthulhu or D&D 5e, pop over to London Esoteric Society's channel. Check that out. That's where she keeps all her videos. There's over 100 Call of Cthulhu episodes. So there's more than enough Call of Cthulhu with a rotating cast. You can see all the changes through time and the cheese murders and the people stabbing each other with sabers and all the crazy stuff. If you want to get some studio merch, check out our merch store. That is where we've got some merch. We don't have any Dark Ages stuff, but sign into the merch store so you can check out the Cat's to-do list. And, of course, the Camp Wish a Motherfucker Would Camp Counselor t-shirt. If you want to catch some amazing content creators, some of them are right here. Matter of fact, one's right here below me. Judy Von Esch, what you got going on your channel?
Well, I am a hooker, not a stabber. So therefore, I make cute little shit because I turn around and I like to choke yarn. I'm there usually in the weekends. Otherwise, I'm either here on Wednesdays for a limited time offer. I'm either on every other Tuesday over at Ravenosis, but I'm always here on Saturdays because I like to torment Gentle Maddox and the always forgiving Mama because Chicago Hidden City. But thank you.
That's our V5 Chronicle on Saturday night. We love our vampire here, obviously. Ravenous Archon, what you got going on?
Hi, everybody. I have TTRPG stuff that I do on my own channel. Mondays for Vampire the Masquerade. Tuesdays I alternate between Werewolf of the Wild West or Silent First Edition. And Thursdays I alternate between Legend of the Five Rings and 7th Sea. And you can find me here every Wednesday because I have been chained to the desk, as Chanky likes to say, for Wednesday nights.
Yeah, we've changed you to every Wednesday stream. Right now, Ravenous Archon is either running or playing in. Every single one. You can also pop over to Mischievous Red. She played Gwen, not Peregrine, Gwen Schultz in Kansas City. She streams on her own channel. She does crafts most of the time, sometimes video games. But if you're on her Discord, you'll get notified when she goes live. Rerolls, he's on break, extended break. Don't know when he'll be back. So I'm sure he'll be back eventually. And of course, DM Daddy RPG is where Jen of Thieves. She has played Sunday Booth in Kansas City. She was in Mama's Monster of the Week cereal game. She's a great player. She runs games over in DM Daddy RPG and plays games there. So you definitely should pop over there and check them out. Yeah. And as always, everybody, bits and donations. They go to the players, not to the studio. It's a way for you to give to the players. We had some bits handed out earlier tonight. The players, thank you. If you want to give something to the studio, subscribe on Twitch, gets rid of ads because ads are rough in a TTRPG. You can miss entire sections of scenes because of an ad.
And thank you to folks that subbed and resubbed tonight.
Yep. Thank you to we had a hype train earlier. Thank you for that. But look, Twitch takes half. You can always pop over to our KoFi if you don't mind the ads and you can give something there. They don't take half of that. And of course, look, money's tight. We know it's tight. It's rough right now. So you can always pop over to our YouTube, like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, hit notification icon, all that good stuff. It helps drive us up in the search ratings. It's free for you, but it helps us.
It also helps push our content to other people that are looking at content like ours. So please.
Yep. It pushes us up in the search rankings and, you know, that helps out because we don't do crazy search optimization and we don't do gotcha damn YouTube video titles, you know. Watch them get eaten by Dracula. None of that shit. That's not how we do it. You know, with Shanky going, none of that. No, we don't do those kind of clickbait titles. So,
and you have to be pointing at the title for some godforsaken reason.
Yeah. Yep. We don't do the clickbait. So that just helps us out. And now Mama can give our schedule for the week because we're busy still.
Yes, we are. So tomorrow night, join Shanky and his crew of folks doing
including
Yeah, I know you're interrupting me and I'm trying to get this done quickly. Eclipse phase, 8 p.m. Eastern. Yep, it's sci-fi body swapping, mystery shit. So check that out, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, join the cast and a couple guests from Kansas City at Domain Divided as we do our live Q&A for the whole Chronicle. Join us with your questions and we will answer them live at 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday. And then Saturday, Junie is here running Chicago Hidden City, a V5 Chicago game set in 2011, because we have skipped time now. We are steamrolling towards the convention of Chicago, y'all, because it's like May 2011, and that happens in the summer of 2011. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. Join us 8 p.m. Eastern Saturday night, and then we'll be back here Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, to finish off this clusterfuck that is Otto's party. Literally, Otto set this shit up. Totally, because there was not enough security. Even Olga clocked that shit.
Well, Snatcher did say last episode why Otto might be deliberately starting shit.
Mm-hmm.
For those that didn't watch it, you should watch that episode because Snatcher, towards the end of it, tells you exactly why Otto might be starting shit.
Mm-hmm.
And as always, everybody, as we end these streams, mental health, take mental health seriously, take yours and other people's mental health seriously. Reach out to those around you. A lot of people are not okay. They mask well, but they're not okay. Sometimes it just takes that kind word, that friendly voice to help them out. And if you suffer from mental health issues, first of all, it's okay to not be okay. Nothing wrong with admitting you need help once in a while. I want you to reach out to your support network. But there's a stigma that really shouldn't be attached to mental health that is. So if you don't feel comfortable talking to those around you, in chat's a list of numbers you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There will be somebody on the other end of the line to help you out. Because listen up, people, mental health is health, and it's important. So please do that. And if you're not in the U.S. or if you're in crisis, go to findahelpline.com, put in your country of origin, and you will get, the helplines in your area. Please take care of yourselves. I mean that very much. And now Mama can give her portion of the outro as we finish up this episode.
Yep. So make sure you take care of your mental well-being and your physical. Get your shots, please. Please get your damn shots. Get your vaccines, please. Get your Tdaps. You're supposed to get those every fucking 10 years, y'all. For real. For real. And also make sure you get your MMRs and get your kids their MMRs because that's real fucking important, y'all. Because, yeah, it's killing kids. And it really shouldn't because it's vaccine preventable. And yeah, do that stuff, okay? And take meds, drink your water, get some sunshine when you can, but wear that SPF because skin cancer sucks, y'all. And lastly, if you have been enabling or supporting fascism in the U.S. and other countries around the world, fuck off because blood is on your hands, you murderous fucking bastards. And the rest of us, we got to pull through and get through this together. They are probably going to do ICE raids in 5 cities. I posted it on the Discord in the venting channel. Be aware of what's going on in your areas, y'all. Take care of each other. Look out for each other. Try to protect those you care about and those that you live with, okay? And that live around you because literally that's what we got to do to get through this shit, okay? And if you're going to protest, please be safe. Please be safe. Said with love. Y'all take care.
And I thank you all for coming. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow night for Eclipse Phase. Good night, everybody.